Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I'm doing the War of the Bounty Hunters June comic recap. So yeah, this is, in the middle of September. So yeah, I'm very behind on War of the Bounty Hunters and also High Republic stuff. So I'm gonna be catching up. I'm probably gonna have a review of one of the another comic War of the Bounty Hunters issue out later today. Hopefully, I don't know, or tomorrow, I don't know when, hopefully soon, and, catching up in the coming weeks, hopefully before October, but who knows. Anyways, June, had 5 issues release, with, surprise returns of several characters, including the big one, Qi'ra, and also Dirge appears in Dr. Aphra, and there's also a few a lesser known character also who appears, who was from a older canon Star Wars story. But anyways, the first issue was War of the Bounty Hunters issue 1, which was written by Charles Soule and was released on July 2nd, 2021. So in this issue, at the start, we see Han and Carbonite taken to the ship called the Vermilion, and we see this hooded figure. He takes on, talks about some stuff, but then we see Boba in his cantina, in Nar Shaddaa, talking to the bartender about what went down. That bartender appeared in the Star Wars 2015 run, and I guess also the Darth Maul miniseries also. It has a neat little tie-in there, but connection. But we see this other random bounty hunter, looking for bounties, and finds one on Boba's head, and so we see him try to kill Boba, but Boba obviously kills him instead. So then he leaves and heads for his ship, and while doing that, he sends a message to Bib Fortuna, saying he's gonna be delayed delivering Han and whatnot. But once he gets to his ship, he gets ambushed by Forlom and Zuckuss, which we then see them kind of fight a little bit and whatnot. Eventually, he kind of throws a detonator down and uses his jetpack to fly away, and which blows them up. And Zuckuss is kind of hanging off the ledge, and we see Boba kick him off. And then he walks to Forlom, who's kind of busted up and whatnot. And so he takes his head, connects it into his computer on the Slave One, where he learns that Jabba has placed a bounty on his head. So he heads for Jabba's palace, and while he's walking up to palace, he kind of throws Forlom's head off the bridge. But he goes up to the door, and Bib Fortuna comes out, and they talk, and Boba gets some info from him, basically why Jabba placed the bounty on Boba's head, which Boba then asks where Jabba is, which we then see Jabba aboard a ship heading somewhere. He's talking to the rest of the Hutt cartel, and talking about this group who claims to have Han Solo in the possession, and how Jabba's heading to this auction and whatnot. Which then we see back on Tatooine, and I guess Bib has told Boba about this auction and how Jabba's gotten an invitation and whatnot. And so Bib shows up Boba the invitation, which is this hologram of that hooded figure. He reveals that they are Crimson Dawn, and holding the auction for Han Solo on this planet called Qi'ra, which then cuts. We see the Vermilion land on Qi'ra, and we see that hooded figure talking about Solo and their plan and whatnot, to get all these factions in one place to fight over Solo. But then we see who exactly they are, the hood down, and it's revealed to be Qi'ra from Solo: A Star Wars Story. But then in Bounty Hunters issue 13, which was written by Ethan Sachs, released on June 9th, we see Valance and Dengar on Nar Shaddaa looking for Boba, but they learn that he's already gone, and so Dengar takes Valance this person to get more info on Boba named Devano Vix, which Dengar tells Valance to let him do the talking, which Valance doesn't agree with and just starts beating Vix up to get info, which leads to the bad things. They have to fight Vix's goons, but Vix starts to run away, so they chase after him. But Valance and Dengar run into Chewie and C-3PO, who are, also looking for Boba. So there's a little tie into May, the Star Wars issue for May. But, Chewie remembers the last time he met Valance, because they, was with Han. They thought Valance was trying to kill him and whatnot, so, Valance and Chewie fight a little, but Valance eventually gets Chewie to stop and tells him what really happened that day. But, Chewie then lets them go, and then Valance and Dengar eventually catch up to Vix, who then tells them all about Crimson Dawn and whatnot. But before he can give more info, he gets assassinated. And so, Valance and Dengar have to get the cover after Valance gets shot in the shoulder also. But then it's revealed that person who assassinated Vix was an assassin named Death Stick, who was a character from the mobile game Star Wars Uprising. But, while all that was going on, we see Tonga head to the Mourner's Whale's base, which she finds destroyed, but she meets Lord Comdek, who tells her, that Crimson Dawn has done this and that she needs to get out of there before they come. But, it's too late and they arrive. So, yeah. But, then in Star Wars issue 14, which was written by Charles Soule, we see, which was released on June 16th, but we see, the rebels learn about the auction of Han Solo and whatnot being held on Qi'ra and whatnot. So they make a plan to head there. Luke heads in his X-Wing while the rest of them head in the Falcon. But once there, they find out that everyone else, is there also. And so Lando comes up with a new plan, which he is also secretly dropping off the talkie droid, which created the new rebel code to Jabba, which, we see Lando do that, but, he does that secretly. But then, he eventually comes up with a new plan to go around and land elsewhere, which, while doing that, a Black Sun ship comes out of hyperspace. And, they kind of nick their ship, and so Black Sun sends a bunch of ships after them, and so they have to outrun them, which eventually they crash land the Falcon on Qi'ra, but it's not too far from Crimson Dawn's ship. But then in Darth Vader issue 13 from my Greg Pak, which was released on June 23rd, 2021, we see Vader and Ochi trying to get some info from the Hutt Boku, who eventually tells them about how Boba lost Han, there's a bounty on his head and whatnot. But Boku takes them to this planet in the Hutt space, which I guess, they go there to try to find information on Boba and whatnot. But Vader has a run-in with IG-88, who somehow has got the ability to control Vader's armor. But Vader eventually passes IG-88 and, defeats him. But IG-88 has to flee after Boku sends down an aerial bombardment down on them, also trying to get Vader also. But then Vader and Ochi head to this comm tower building where they learn information about Crimson Dawn and whatnot, and I assume the auction and whatnot. But then they head back to Boku's ship. Vader confronts Boku about the aerial bombardment, but doesn't kill him. And then the issue ends with IG-88 heading back to Coruscant, where he meets up with Sly Moore and something called the Imbaran's Court. Yeah, but then finally there's Dr. After Issue 11, written by Elisa Wong, released on June 30th. In this issue, we see Afra and Sana head to the ship called the Opal Impress to find Eban Drake, which Dominion Tag sent them to find, figure out what this invitation he got, which was Crimson Dawn. But they find everyone on the ship, including him, dead. But, Afra finds the invitation and learns that's about Crimson Dawn having an auction for Han Solo. But then Dirge appears, and he was looking for Eban Drake alive. And so Afra and Son have to explain that, they didn't kill him and there's someone else. And then they have to figure it out. But they quickly figure that out as these creatures called Komots come out of the vents, start attacking them. And so they have to run away. But they eventually come up with a plan, which I guess these creatures, when they're out in space, kind of, can't take the pressure and they blow up. So they get to the airlock and jettison them out, but Afra betrays Dirge, sending him out into space also. And so then they leave and talk to Dominion Tag, who then sends them to the auction. But while that was going on, we see Just Lucky and Ariel Yu talking about the mission, which is also good to go to that auction. But it is to assassinate a former ally of them, and of also Wendelphus, a man named Cray. And Just Lucky, he's kind of second guessing the mission, doesn't want to assassinate Cray, but Ariel tells him to not worry about it and just focus on the mission. So yeah, but and that's it for the June War of the Bounty Hunters comics. So yeah, but July had 6 issues what released. All these series new issues, and a Jabba the Hutt War of the Bounty Hunters one shot. So yeah, but I'll be doing reviews of all 6 of those issues next, and then the July recap. So yeah, but in the meantime, you can check out reviews I did for all the issues I talked about in this video, and all the May stuff also. But yeah, anyways, I've been Stars, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.